I connect a lot with Romeo Santos. I do like his songs. At the beginning, I didn't actually. I could not dance to them. I could not.
Cancelled.
Joining us today is Nastia Laisheva, a bachata dancer and certified bachata influence teacher who went from watching Instagram videos to mastering the nuances of bachata influence in 2.5 years.
People think that you can dance bachata influence only to remixes, and they call remixes bachata influence. It's getting me a bit frustrated when people come to me and they're like, will they play influence in the social? And it's like, you can dance bachata influence to any song.
Bachata influence isn't about the music, it's about the effects.
Our upper body is most of the time very relaxed. What people see is just an effect. We never harm the follower.
So, if it's not about strong moves and it's not about remixes, what is bachata influence really about?
Bachata is not only about moving with someone, it's about moving together, connecting to the music, yourself, with your partner. Just a simple look like this already gives, like, we call it picante.
All this and much more right here on Step by Step, where every step tells a story.
Nastia, thank you so much for being with us. We're so grateful that you're coming on the show.
Thank you for the invitation.
Of course. And I'd like to start talking a little bit about your journey. Could you let us know how you started in the world of dance, especially for the listeners who are maybe not so familiar with you, who you are, kind of how you got here? Walk us through, when did dance kind of become an important part of your life?
Okay, so I started by just watching the videos on Instagram. I think most of the people would start, they would find their favorite couple and just keep watching the same couple all the time. That happened to me. I firstly saw my friend dancing bachata and I was like, what is that? Like, my understanding of bachata was always like Dominican bachata, you know, the typical Dominican, you know, the random thing that they do. They move wherever they want, and that was so structured, and I'm like, what's that? And after that, I started asking a lot of questions about that, and he told me about, yeah, this is the way we dance nowadays. It's called Bachata Central at that point, and I was like, okay, I want to try. And I was living in Ireland at that moment. I moved to Ireland for a year, and he called me. I was like, sure, like he called me to Madrid to come to Madrid to visit him, like, and try. And I was like, sure, let's do it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to Madrid to dance bachata. And I did. Well, I went to Madrid for a week. It was, I think, autumn 2023. And I just fell in love. We danced like maybe a couple of times. He showed me like a basic step. And then afterwards, I was like, okay, I'm ready to go. He brought me to the social. He put me in front of the social. It was Joke. My first social. It was not a joke, like a joke. The name of the social, the name of the place was Joke. And he just brought me to the door, put me in front of it, and disappeared. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? I didn't know that works the way that you just come and start dancing with people. So I just entered, started looking around, and then eventually in 2 minutes someone grabs my hand and asks me for a dance, and I'm like, okay. And I know how to do basic step and a turn, you know? So I remember that night it was like very challenging for me, but at the same time I enjoyed every single dance. I thought that everyone was such a good dancer. Everyone was so advanced. I was like, oh no. But I learned a lot because I feel like I wasn't shy from the beginning. I was like, yeah, the thing that you tried to do to me, like, do it again, you know? And I think that's how, like, everything just started. And by going to the socials that week, entire week, I went out, like, every single day. I went for 7 days to Madrid. I danced 7 days in Madrid. I came destroyed. I came back to Ireland, I mean, completely, like, out. I was sleeping for maybe a few days in a row after that, but it was amazing.
Wow. What's crazy to me is that wasn't that long ago, and I watch you dance now, and I'm like, holy crap, you know, it's an incredible progression over only a very short amount of time.
Yeah, no, I fell in love. It's something that I could not explain. I just loved it from the beginning. And obviously, at the beginning, you don't see yourself the same way and you don't look very beautiful, pretty. And now, as I watch my videos from beginning, and I'm like, okay, my parents were very against it because for them it was very sexual. It was very different from what nowadays my understanding of bachata and everyone's like in my family understanding of bachata is, because I didn't know how to control my body and it was like just me moving around with a different Spanish man and I'm like, okay. And Spanish men are pretty. It's like for them it was like, what are you doing? But then at some point I just realized that I see the girls from the videos. I followed a lot of couples after that. I started looking for more couples on Instagram. I don't know, should I mention some of the
Of
ones
course.
that
Absolutely.
yeah, I think the first one that I saw was one of the first one was Janice and Zoe, because obviously they were all romantic, super beautiful, super nice. They're very good people. At the same time, I met them in Benidorm last year. They were so nice. Like they're actually as they are on the video. Then I think I followed Eduardo Maria. I like their style. They were so like fast, explosive, and everything. And then I think I started watching more like Jeromigles, Esencia, and all these people. So I started just by watching, trying to repeat some things. In Ireland, I met some friends from bachata scene. So I started going out in Ireland. I accidentally, actually, I got to know one guy who was a salsa dancer, and he didn't know anything about bachata, and I didn't know anything about salsa. So we started like helping each other by practicing together. His name is Sean. Hi, Sean. He would love if his name to be mentioned. So me and Sean, we started like practicing maybe one time a week. I would try to teach him bachata, like a basic step and something like, well, teach, and he would teach me salsa. So we were kind of helping each other. And then after we started going out for parties in Ireland, and I got to know more people from bachata scene, practicing with different guys. And I just tried to practice as much as I could. Like all my free time that I had, I would just listen to bachata, just listening to the music. I love musicality. I love accents in bachata. That's kind of really my thing. And I think it's partially because of that moment of my life, because I was literally alone in Ireland. And I was like, I just want some Spanish music. I just want to hear a bit of Spanish. And bachata came, and I was like, okay. I was listening to it like in the mornings, afternoon, evenings, all my free time. And I think it's something that every beginner should do. Like just start by listening to the music. Like once you start hearing the song like for the first, second, third, fifth time, you realize that okay, I know where the basic is. Like the most complicated part for the beginner is to hear the bongo, the basic 1, 2, 3, 4. It seems to be kind of easy now, but it's probably one of the things that everyone struggles at the beginning. And I didn't have this struggle because I was literally in love with the music, and I was just listening to it over and over again. And then obviously once you hear it for the 10th time, you hear where is the break. Now you know if there is a change. Maybe if you also, I think one of the things that my friend for the first time that I came to Madrid got me to do, he played me like 15 songs in a row, and he told me, I will not dance with you until you get your basic step, like until you get the basic step on time. And he just played 15 songs in a row, and I was like, it's easy, I hear it. And then he played the song Pañuelo of Rasolia, and that one is crazy. That one has so many changes. And he was like, you think you know how to do basic? do this. And I struggled so much and I couldn't. So he played maybe 10 songs more until I heard the basic, and then he started like doing basic with me. So that's one of the radical methods that people apparently nowadays, when I have someone that I really care about and I want to teach them, I do the same thing. I just do your basic and I go, you know. So it's hearing the music, listening to the music. It's very, very, very important at the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I really like that. And I also find interesting what you said about the accents in the music. And I'm interested to know, is that one of the reasons that maybe got you interested in Bachata Influence, where there's a lot of emphasis on musicality and kind of hitting those musical breaks?
Yeah, I think it's kind of everything is related, because for me, obviously, I started as sensual bachata dancer, then I got into bachazouk, and I love both of the styles, and I still do them. Obviously, I dance them on the socials, as I don't get to choose the style of the leader, and I love it because I can do anything and enjoy it. But obviously, with the bachazouk movement, I feel like if there is a musicality, I just cannot hit it because I will break the move, because it's very smooth and it has its own beauty. But if I break it, I might hurt or myself, or the guy will just be like, "Oh, what happened?" You know. So after I saw Influence, I think it just gives me a bit more space to express myself.
Where did you see it for the first time?
Well, obviously Instagram Melvin Gatica. I think everyone saw them for the first time probably, or either on the festival or on Instagram. In my case, I think it was on Instagram that they saw a video. But I was not like, I was a bit confused. It's like a new style. Is it a bachata style? Is it like, who are they? And then after I met them on a festival, I think it was Essencia Paradise, and I danced with Melvin, and he had a crazy musicality. I think we also danced La Culpable, and that song has a lot of musicality. That song has crazy musicality, and I love every single one now. But at that point, I didn't know the song much, so I danced to the song that I didn't really know, but he knew it.
I bet he did.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, he's amazing. I want to learn. I want to see how it goes. And then I saw Gatika dancing with someone, and how she controls her body. Her body control is amazing. And I was like, I want to learn that. I love all the sensuality. I love all the smooth moves. But if you can control your body and do something like a break without being rough, without tensing your hands, and just do it with a boom, and she does it like so easily, and it looks so smooth and so effortless, and I was like, okay, I want this body control. So that's when I firstly like got very interested, but I never thought about it because I was living in Madrid and no one dances Bachata Influence in Madrid, and it was like a bit of they were criticizing it, like in Madrid, I guess. Most of the dancers that I know, they were criticizing it, probably because of mixes, breaks, and they think it's sharp moves and like they're strong and they force a lot of moves. But well, we get into this topic, I guess, after.
Absolutely. I mean, let's do it now, because I think Bachata Influence, I could imagine, is maybe something that is not well understood. So let's kind of set the record straight, use this opportunity. What myths would you like to break about it, and what would you like people to know about the style?
Okay. Yeah, well, there are a lot of myths, I guess. Well, the first one, I guess, because of like following the topic of sharp moves and breaks and musicality, we do a lot of little breaks in the music, like pause or stops or something like. As I feel, it's very beautiful because you can just stop, look at your partner, connect. It doesn't have to be like no basic. It has to be just a little break that you just relax, And we use these breaks to relax most of the time. It's not to be tense. And people, I think, because they see these breaks, they think that our body is tense all the time. And sometimes dancing on the dance floor with someone who never experienced influence before a leader, but they know that I dance bachata influence, and they're like, okay, I have to dance influence with her. And they start to do very, very sharp and rough moves and with tense hands. And I'm like, relax. I literally start smiling and I'm like, oh, chill. It's like, relax. So I think that's the first one, the myth of strong misunderstanding the strong position and effect that we create with our body, with the actual force that can be on the dance floor.
So what I'm hearing from you is the difference between the effect that is perceived outside versus the experience of what it feels like to dance it, right?
Yeah. So like we use a lot of strong positions, like open legs, for example, right? And we're looking for the power that comes from the floor most of the time. So like we have very, very strong legs. That's true. We have our legs always ready, but because we dance bachata, at the end we have to push the floor, we have to do bachata and have strong legs. But then our upper body, it's most of the time very relaxed. And what people see is just an effect, but at the same time, we never harm the follower, or we never give a lot of tension from our hands to the leader, because obviously it doesn't feel nice if you grab someone like that. At the same time, we create a lot of breaks with our body. That's why body control is very important for influence. And even when we give classes now, regular classes of Bachata Influence in Barcelona, we look for people who have experience with sensual bachata and a bit of body control to start influence, because we don't want them to be tense. And when we teach it, we first teach basic bachata, bachata sensual, anything that has to do with bachata, and then we get into influence. So because it just requires more body control. And what they see with the breaks, it's just like a break that we create, like with the breathing, with the expanding our body. But we never like, no, like, no. So that's the first one, the first myth that I think it's very, very misunderstood. And as soon as people realize that dancing with someone who actually knows the technique of influence, they realize that they're just creating these effects, but there is no tension in the hands, no tension in the upper body. The second one, I would say the music.
Yes. And I really want to get into this topic with you because you do hear a lot about Bachata Influence music.
Yeah, and it's getting me very upset. Really.
Lay it out for us.
Yes, okay. So, like, for example, I'm a music fan, so I like any type of bachata. I like everything, starting from Romeo Santos' Aventura, finishing with any remix that make me feel something. So it's like, I think it's a bit misunderstood because people think that you can dance bachata influence only to remixes, and they call remixes bachata influence. So it's getting me a bit frustrated when people come to me and they're like, will they play influence in the social? And it's like, you can dance bachata influence to any song. I think that's one of the topics that really has to be talked about, I think. And I'm trying to also encourage people to understand this and to dance to normal bachatas. Also, like teaching some intensive courses and things, like I include this explanation to my intensive courses or to any place where I go to teach. I'm trying to talk about it just because of this misunderstanding. At the same time, I got the question one time teaching in London. They were like, but you dance demos to remixes. And that's true, we do. So I think that's one of the things that I have to think about also, to be able to do more demos to normal bachatas. But the thing is, we love remixes because they make us feel something, because they're good for storytelling, which is also a part of bachata influence that we love. They invite us more to find more connection, just because if you look at the history of the music of bachata, that's my understanding at least, it was created for poor people to express themselves, to go out. And the songs, like original bachata songs, they're all talking about the woman that died or cheated, or sex or drugs or alcohol or getting drunk. And this type of lyrics in general, they don't invite me to give like a storytelling. That's my perception, because I love more songs about love, songs about like a beautiful story, a guy who's in love with a girl or something. But because it's my thing, I'm more expressive with this type of songs and I connect more to this type of songs. So when I listen to remixes, most of the time these are the popular songs that I used to listen when I was little. So they create this kind of emotions inside me. They create kind of connection. I connect just with the music more. But that's me, for example. It doesn't have to be with everyone this way.
Totally. And I think with anything that talks about art, it's subjective, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't think you have to like it. You just have to consider it.
Yeah.
And actually something that you said that I really appreciate, you've said it twice now, this idea that the music makes you feel something. And so anecdotally, I was also in a workshop with Melvin and Gatica.
Yeah.
And I think he's the only kind of artist teacher I've heard talk about this so much. So in the workshop, he gave the group a combination, we did it. And I remember he stopped the music and he was like, guys, you're just executing the moves, but I don't feel anything. Let's try it again. And actually this time, try to feel something.
Yeah.
And I remember for me, that was very like, oh shit.
I can feel something.
I'm supposed to feel something and express it. I'm not just supposed to execute. So I really appreciate this kind of piece of it. And I guess it's one of the tenets that I see behind Bachata Influence, this kind of expression, storytelling piece that you've been mentioning.
No, imagine if it's my full-time job and I'm dancing every day. I would be so bored if I just had to execute the moves every time, especially like if it's the same partner, for example, and we would dance the same way to any song. That's boring. Like I could do that for a year, maybe for 2, maybe for 3, but I would not be able to live out of it like all my life. And also especially myself, for example, I connect a lot with, Romeo Santos. I do like his songs. At the beginning, I didn't actually. I'm a really bad bachata beginner. I hated Romeo Santos' song and I could not dance to them. I could not.
Cancelled.
Okay, I don't know. I just couldn't. But then with the time, I fell in love with them. That's crazy. And I connect a lot now with Aventura and the Romeo Santos songs. So like for me, dancing influence to Romeo Santos is something that I enjoy as well. The thing is, my partner also has to connect with the song. We have to connect with each other and we have to both like it. That's a bit more complicated to get. So usually it's, you can try, but not everyone will like Romeo Santos. As for example, I do. You can try dancing to popular bachata, commercial bachatas like Shama, DJ Husky, Dímelo Cupido or something like that. That works perfectly. But again, if you listen to the songs, they're also not original bachatas. They're not talking about the same thing as original bachata was. They're not having the same vibe as original bachata was. So then people judging us dancing to remixes, but then they dance to commercial bachatas like that we listen nowadays. It's also a fusion. It's also not like original bachata. So why would we judge? Just enjoy, just enjoy anything that you have. And like, especially us, for example, on the socials, we dance to anything. For example, yesterday we gave a workshop and I felt like I danced to every single song. I maybe had 2 songs of break or something in the entire night. And I didn't have the choice of the songs. I danced to anything. And it's like when people say, no, they dance only to remixes. No, if I want to, if I'm in the mood to dance to every song and I feel like I'm feeling it and I like it, I will dance to every song. But for a demo especially, a demo is something that is a show It's a show for people. People want to see something different. So obviously we're looking to more expressions, we're looking for more storytelling, we're looking for more emotions, we're looking to kind of make this little switch that bachata is not only about dancing and it's not only about moving with someone, it's about moving together, it's about connecting to the music, connecting with yourself, connecting with your partner. So it's like, it's a bit, well, the thing that we want to kind of transmit to people with the demo is just a bit different thing. So that's why sometimes we pick kind of more remixes, because they just invite us to connect more. But it doesn't mean that I would not connect with my partners the same way if I dance to Romeo Santos, for example.
Of course. And I guess going back to some of the training that you've done, because you've trained, right, with Melvin and Gatica, any other kind of nuggets of wisdom or specific areas that you think Bachata Influence really, really highlights that we don't see in other styles? Any elements that you want to share with our listeners?
For me, the thing that I learned from the academy was, for example, the intro. I love lady style, and I see that a lot when Central Bachata, Bachazuca, anything, they start their demos with the lady style. And they're doing a lot of like moves, a lot of beautiful moves. And sometimes they're nice and on the music, sometimes they're just a bunch of moves that look great. Doesn't necessarily have to be on the music. Most of the bachata songs, they start also with something slow, which doesn't have like rhythm of bachata. It just, you can do whatever you want. But the thing that I like about Bachata Influence is that we don't focus on intros. We focus more to use this part, like little part of the song, to connect with the song. And we can just stand, we can just breathe, we can just, I don't know, do something with our hands, start feeling the music. We use intro also to connect with our partner. That's one of the things that I've noticed. If you just watch any video of any couple, most of the time there is like a slow part of intro of the song, which I go usually like 20 seconds. And they're using it like to do lady style. And then the partner comes when the rhythm starts on one.
Yeah.
With the bongo. In our case, most of the time, we would do a short lady style or a man style at the beginning. And then the partner comes when the music is still slow and when the music is still kind of like inviting you to connect. We don't rush into dance straight away. And at the beginning, we don't usually start with a lot of moves. That's one of the things that changed my mindset really a lot, even for the social. When I go to the social and I find a partner who takes his time to connect with me and just breathe, just relax, kind of feel my energy, gives me time to feel his energy instead of rushing straight away into moves, I appreciate it so much. And I'm like, okay, this dance, I'm gonna like it, straight away. So even if he's like not very professional and technique, like just the way the partner comes to me and connects with me already tells me a lot about the dance that's gonna happen. So that's one of the things that I really, really noticed about how you feel the song. And they really, like Melvin and Gatica were explaining a lot about that we have to connect with the music. And also about feelings and emotions on the dance floor. It's a bit more complicated to show a lot of emotions on the social, just because people are not used to it. And obviously if the song is very sad and I'm trying to show sad emotions, he would think that, oh, she doesn't like dancing with me. But it's actually not because of that. I'm just trying to connect with the song and with the lyrics, for example. So I'm not doing that a lot on the socials. On the socials, I'm trying to be more friendly and smiling all the time. But I do like it for the demos, for example. Again, for the demos, it's a show, so you also want to kind of like express yourself, exaggerate a bit more. But yeah, that's type of things that I feel like that's why it's good that they play more commercial bachata on the social, because if they start playing like sad remixes, I would be like, I was like crying on the dance floor. That's also one of the things that I loved. After the academy, we had like after every day that we were there, we had like a practice social, and people had this kind of mindset of, okay, I want to express, and I had so emotional dances that I was coming back home and I was like literally overloaded with all these emotions because everyone was kind of trying to push it, also to practice, obviously, as well. But at the same time, people just come with a different mindset. And it's something that I feel like it's very beautiful. And it's like every time I meet them now over the world and we reconnect, it's like dancing again. Like, it's just crazy how people can change after a few days of academy, and also like become friends because we're quite bonded. It's also something that I like about the community because we don't have like a competitive mindset. As in, there are a lot of good dancers, but I feel like they're always trying to show that they're better than someone. And there is kind of like a competitive mindset between like special teachers. But in Bachata Influence, I feel like everyone is more focused on growing the community rather than showing off who is better. So it's also a thing that I really enjoy. Like every time I go somewhere on the festivals and I see someone who was in the academy who I met during this like week, it's not that in a week we became best friends, but at the same time we shared so much, so many emotions, so many good moments that it just invites us to kind of reconnect and just, create a story with every dance that we have on the dance floor. And it's crazy like how you can just change the way you think in a few days.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's beautiful. And what I really like about what you're saying and what it's sounding like to me is not just learning to interpret the song, but also allowing yourself to feel and to have that kind of shared experience, which to me is one of the most kind of awesome things about dance, that you have experiences where no words are required.
Yeah.
Which I think is very bonding.
Yeah, I think the beauty of it is like it's not fake. Like the thing is that you actually show emotions. It's not that you're performing emotions.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's the cool thing, right? You're not performing to be sad. You're trying to just connect with the music and feel if it's sad or if it's whatever, right?
Yeah. The thing that I love about music as well is to understand the lyrics. I feel like, English, it's a bit, well, I speak English. Darwin, for example, doesn't speak English. So every time we have a demo or something, I'm like, okay, well, he does. No, actually, he improved it a lot. I have to say, he improved it a lot, and I'm very proud about him.
Well done, Darwin.
Well done. But he doesn't speak and he doesn't understand every word to play with lyrics at the moment. But at the same time, he gets the feeling of the song. And every time we have a demo or something, I'm trying to also kind of share with him, okay, this song talks about that. I would want this type of emotions probably. But now also we have this type of thing that most of the time that we do a workshop or something, we don't know the song that we're going to dance. So he just plays any song and we do a demo. So I don't know what kind of things, what kind of emotions, what kind of feeling he has in the moment. But it's very challenging to reconnect with the song and get all this feeling at the moment. But it's really good practice. I feel like I start enjoying it more because I'm not thinking, okay, I will perform these emotions. I'm actually feeling them at the moment. Like at that point, like the way it is. So it's also, I feel like it's very natural thing. And the thing that I like also about Bachata Influence in particular, it's like you can make mistakes. You don't have to be perfect. But as long as you are like showing actually that you're feeling something, connecting, and it already looks beautiful. You don't have to be technically perfect, So it's like when I see, for example, sensual bachata or bachazuk, and you see a mistake, you're like, okay, there was a mistake. But here you can cover it up by showing more emotions, and people don't really think about dance. They just see two people dancing together and just enjoying the moment. That's what kind of makes people feel the most of it.
Nice. Do you think that's why people, because more and more people are getting attracted to Bachata Influence as a style, right? It feels like it's really exploding.
Yeah. Our classes, at least, they're getting full. We had to move to a different place because we didn't have space.
Wow.
That's really, really exciting that people are interested. And like every time I see more and more dancers, and it's not because of the moves that they do. I mean, you can dance kind of with this mindset, any type of dance, but because people are getting into this mindset, like they're getting into, okay, I want to feel, I want to, like, just because, I don't know, maybe they see a demo, they see like the style, and when they, for example, approach me on the social and they start dancing with me, they see that I'm trying to connect, and they know that I will connect with them if they allow me. And more people start my dances with breathing, more and more people kind of like facing me, looking at me. I think one of the really, really important things for me, like, is to my part, like for my partner to look at me on the dance floor and show me that he's present. Because that's also one of the reasons why I kind of like got frustrated a bit in Madrid and changed to Bachata Influence, because I was a purely essential Bachata dancer before meeting Darwin, and I was like going out in Madrid a lot, like maybe 3-4 times a week. And everyone is so amazing in there. Like everyone has a really high level. The dancers are so good. A lot of Essencia students, which are also like very technical, very good musicality, everything, but just no connection. I felt like I lost the connection, and I was trying to feel like maybe it's me, maybe I don't understand why. And I realized after I started with Bachata Influence, after I danced a few times with Darwin, like what I was missing. And it was that simple as just look. Just a look can change completely a dance and the feeling inside the dance. And before, I understand a lot of people who also like start bachata, they feel shy. And it's normal. We all were shy. And most of the time, like we are shy on the dance floor, especially if we don't know a person. But I guess with the time, it just goes that, okay, well, if I look at him, what's going to happen? Like, he's going to feel uncomfortable. Why? No, I will look, I will smile, I will make him like feel something happy. I don't know. We're going to laugh maybe by looking at each other. And that's something that I also enjoy, because you're feeling like, okay, I'm dancing with someone. And it's like obviously more kind of intimate thing to look at the person, I guess. But if you do that with a good intention of just trying to, hey, say hi with your eyes to the partner that I'm here, let's connect. That's kind of changes your also like the way you dance.
Totally. And I think the craziest thing happens when we think about looking at each other in the eyes. And I think usually when people don't, it's not that I don't want to see you, it's that I don't want you to see me.
Yeah,
right?
They're
And so,
hiding something.
Exactly. We hide because, like you say, we feel a little bit shy. But I really like what you said about saying hi with your eyes.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it doesn't have to be like...
Doesn't have to be creepy.
Yeah. We teach that a lot with the, I don't know if our students will know, when we teach the bridge, like, this move of like, there is like moments where we look at each other, and I love when we explain it. Darwin always does, but guys don't over exaggerate and do like this. And I'm like, that's completely it. Like, you don't have to over exaggerate to make your partner feel uncomfortable, but the simple look, like instead of this, just a simple look like this, it's already gives, like, we call it picante. Like, gives a spiciness to a dance floor. And it's something that it's actually like at the beginning was very uncomfortable, even for me, because I was just not used to it. And that's the thing that I felt in Madrid. I was just okay, I'm dancing with everyone, I'm doing very cool moves, I'm improving my technique. But then, will I remember this dance? Will I remember this dancer? And then after I started with Bachata Influence, I was like, okay, actually, I remember most of the people that I danced Bachata Influence with because of that. Because they made me feel something, they were present on the dance floor, and these people that I want to repeat the dance with. And it's something that I'm focused more like on the dance floor, because I got the experience, I got amazing dances, I have a very good partner to practice with. So I'm not very focused on the technique and amazing cool moves when I go to the social, for example. It's not the thing that I'm really looking for. I'm not going there to give classes. I'm not going with the mindset to I don't know, perform. When I go to the social, I'm there because I want to relax. I want to connect with people. I want to talk to my friends. I want to, I don't know, chat with someone. And when I dance on the social dance, I'm not like, I don't expect people to do some crazy stuff. If they do with a good technique, amazing. I will be happy. I will dance something good and with the musicality, everything. But if they do it with a good technique and they don't look at me and they don't connect with me, they don't breathe, they're just doing move after move after move, I will not invite them to dance again. And if someone that comes to me with a maybe not the best technique, but he actually enjoys it and he actually connects with me, I will enjoy it much more, much more. And that's why most of the time I speak to many followers and many leaders, and they're like, you know, I was afraid to invite you, or I was not sure, like if I want to invite, speaking about, for example, followers. We sometimes chat, and like she's like, "No, I'm shy. I don't want to invite him. He's too good for me. I will not be able to keep up." I was like, "Go, try." That's the way you learn. That's the way you learn, and especially I think it's a really good thing to kind of challenge yourself to dance with a good dancer. Like when someone comes to me with a good mindset, with the mindset to connect, and they're not perfect, but they want to learn, they want to try new things, they kind of like very, very like, okay, I will try this move, like very shy. And sometimes also when something goes bad or something, they're like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm like, relax, it's all good. So I think that's kind of a thing that, I don't know, most of the dancers should not worry about, if obviously you're not forcing the moves and you're like not really, hey, do it, I hate it. When people are trying to force something, I'm just blocking myself and I'm like, no, sorry.
I mean, I think it's so interesting what you're saying. And actually, I myself have been somebody who struggles to ask more experienced dancers to dance for sure. And I think we tend to always get in this mindset of like, oh, but I'm not good enough and I won't be able to follow, especially. But I know that leaders also experience that. You have mentioned that kind of since you started, almost not knowing anything, you were asking more experienced dancers, and you've always had what sounds to me like a really healthy level of confidence.
Yeah.
How did you manage that? Kind of what are the things that you tell yourself, or how do you manage to exude that level of confidence on the dance floor?
Actually, I don't know. From the moment that I started, I was like, okay, I just want to learn it. And that's one of the things that I realized, that, okay, the only way to learn it is to practice it. And obviously, if you are practicing the move with someone who doesn't know how to execute it properly, you will not get better. You can still dance with these people. It doesn't mean you only have to dance with bad dancers, because sometimes someone who is like a beginner or someone who is not a very high level dancer yet can surprise you and teach you something that you didn't know. And it happens to me as well. And sometimes even now on the dance floor, I adapt to some moves that maybe they wanted to execute one way, but I see different way of like execution or something that makes me think about this move, and I might create even something new out of it, or just a simple mistake invite you to create a new move. And when someone is not perfect, no one is perfect, but if someone is like a beginner and they accidentally do something different, and then you create something in the moment, if you remember that, it can be a really new move that you can use afterwards with like proper technique if you put into it. So I would say it's like at the moment that you start like looking into who I want to dance with, just first thing that you have to do is to take out this mindset and dance with everyone. That's the first thing. But if you have the chance, if you see that someone is really good and you're feeling shy and you're like, okay, what do? I don't want to be bad or something like dancing with him. The mindset that I had, I was like, well, I'm bad. I'm not good. I will not follow him. I will not do anything. But he will not remember me. He will not remember this dance because we dance with more than 50, 100 people per night. Do you really think that he will come back home thinking that, oh my God, this girl? Like, if you are not perfect, no one is perfect. But you're there to learn, but you're there to connect, but you're coming with the mindset that, okay, I just want to enjoy my time. A really good dancer who already experienced all this, who already like been dancing for years, he knows what does it mean to start from the beginning, and he knows or she knows that it is really hard to push through this first few years. And I think everyone who went through it should really appreciate beginners because it's really, really hard. It's really hard way. And also like to get out of your comfort zone, because beginners, they're just starting with this community. They're like, am I supposed to dance like all night with 100 different people? Like, how do I follow 100 different people? They do different moves. I don't know all of these moves, and they have this mindset, and you have to understand that, and you just have to accept it and try to bring something new to the. Or I don't teach when I'm going on the social dance, because for that I have my job. I'm going there to relax. But if I'm dancing with someone and I'm showing them a new move that they never done before, I can sense it, because from the way they follow it, if I'm dancing with a follower, from the way they are kind of like looking at me, I can sense it, because the way they look, it's not very confident at that moment, So at this point, I will do it slowly. I will try to adapt myself if the follower doesn't follow the move perfectly. And that's the thing. It's like, if you're an experienced dancer, you know it, and you will not push it. If the follower does whatever she wants at this moment and she doesn't follow because she never done it, so let it be. Maybe we will create a new move from a mistake. That's the way I see it. And I think most of the good leaders, they will see it the same way. And if you're a follower who respects and who doesn't come like with the, okay, I will fall into his arms and start like, So if you're a follower who respects, but you're just shy, the leader will sense it. Mm-hmm. And will try to bring a good experience. If it's a good leader, if it's a really someone that experienced all this. And also one of the things that every follower has to think about is that these people who are good, who are teachers, for example, if it's their job, if they do it every day, you also don't want to be heavy. You don't want to kind of like push a lot of like styling or something that you don't control yet. So when I danced with someone as a beginner, like with a really good people. But as a beginner, I was not trying to do the deepest cambre I could do because I knew that I could not control my body yet so much. And if the leader was leading me a cambre, I was trying to focus on how to do it properly, on the technique like of the cambre, not about showing him that I can do a deep cambre. So that's kind of a mindset that every beginner should have, like focusing more on, I want to execute this dance properly. I want to connect with this partner properly, right? Instead of, I'm shy, I don't want to dance with him, I'm afraid, I'm shaking. Oh, cambre, I will do it my best, you know. So like as a beginner, I think it's kind of like a thing, like three things that you have to think about: not being heavy, not being like not forcing anything, and be like light follower. It's hard. We don't control our body at the beginning, but just having that in mind helps. Second, don't be shy. They will not remember most of it. And third thing is just try to connect and bring something to the dance floor that this leader will enjoy. Just a simple connection, it's already enough to enjoy the dance.
I mean, it's so nice because I think we often put so much pressure on ourselves to the point where I think we end up robbing ourselves of the experience of just enjoying the dance with somebody who's more experienced.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that we do that, you know, we kind of take away from ourselves from that point of view. But you talked a lot about followers and this kind of sense of being light on your feet, controlling your body, etc. And I do want to get into some of that in a second. But let's also take the perspective of the leaders who are also starting, who are also beginners. What would you say are some kind of critical things for them to keep in mind?
Yeah. Well, the first thing is probably we all people. We all come to the dance floor and everyone has different body, right? Everyone has different level of flexibility. And also, I guess some people might have injuries or like in the past or now. And sometimes when you dance with a leader who is just starting out, you can find the leader who is still not controlling much his power, he's leading, and even if the move is not technically done, as a follower, you can adapt yourself. But if it's not technically done, plus it's forced, as experienced follower, you can adapt to yourself because you can block your body and just don't do the move. And as not experienced follower, you might not know the moment when to block your body, or you might try to follow the move, but it will not go through nicely. So like, for example, for me, when I dance with beginners, as I said, I enjoy it as long as person tries to connect and be like present on the dance floor. But I also enjoy it when people are not forcing it. Sometimes, like, if I find someone who is trying to really push me to do something, I'm just blocking. I have to protect my body. It's my job. If I lose my body, I lose my job. So that's kind of also logical. But for the leaders who are starting out, having this kind of understanding that you're dancing with a person, you want to practice the new move that you learned, that's perfect. You might not be good with this move. When I learned a new move as a leader, it's so painful. I'm like, oh, the hands goes here or there. Like, how is it go? Like, I struggle a lot when I learn a new move. And the thing is, when I learn a new move, I'm trying to do it very slow. Like, obviously, the count, it's something that really is complicated when you start out and you want to follow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You don't want to get out of it. And as someone who already has the experience, if I know that I'm learning a new move and I want to practice it, I will do it like in 16 times instead of 8. I will slow it down a lot because I want to do it in a good way, and I will put it in the moment of the music, which is like very slow, so it looks good. Right? But as someone who doesn't have the experience, they are trying to follow this 8, not to get out of this 8. And because of that, sometimes they arrive late and they're trying to push it so it like to get out on one. And that's one of the biggest mistakes of every leader, like who is starting out. So the first thing is learn the music, learn the rhythm, learn the basic, listen to basic, get the understanding where is one, where is five, and be able to execute the move, even if you're running late and you're still not ready on one, be ready on five and get your five to the right side. So that's the thing that you should be able to focus more on as a beginner rather than I have to do this move with this count perfectly. I'm not saying that we have to get out of the counts all the time. Obviously, you can have a package of moves that you are comfortable with, that you will always execute from 1 to 8. And I think every leader has this kind of like confidence moves that you, anytime anything that happens, okay, I will do this, and while you're doing this move, you're doing them automatically and you're thinking about the next one. And the next one might be something that you don't control yet. And in this moment, that's when you want to slow down. Maybe like wait for the slow moment of the music, maybe just don't force it, even if you are not correct, just let it be. The follower will figure out the comfortable way out herself, like instead of forcing her to get out of it. And also one of the things that I think a lot of beginners like at the beginning, also when they learn bachata, I don't know why, lifting up the follower.
Oh, God. Thank you for going here. Yes, let's talk about this.
Sometimes they want to impress you, but this way they're actually scaring you out and they make you feel like, okay, what am I supposed to do at this point? Because if I'm already up here, I cannot block my body. I cannot control my body. I can only just be like
stiff so you don't fall.
Yeah. Or if this happens when they throw you like push to the floor or lift you back, it's also like I'm already on you, like I'm already back. I cannot block my body. I cannot undo this move. That's something that I don't like personally, because if I know that he is not doing it with the proper technique, I'm not in the control anymore. And when you're not in the control, that's only, well, I can let myself not to be in control of my weight only with a partner that I really, really know.
Yeah.
Not with everyone.
It sounds like, I think that's a big key to it, not a blanket statement, no-go zone, but be very careful who you do it with, in what space, in what context.
And especially if we're dancing bachata.
No, absolutely. Going back to one of the earlier points, because throughout our conversation, you've talked a lot about body control, how you have trained your body. And I've watched you dance and you can definitely tell you have an incredible amount of body control. And I get the feeling you've developed it over a reasonably short amount of time. Talk us through how you have done that. I know you did some crazy stuff, like you did like pole dancing at one point, and I know you did some other styles when you were younger. What has helped you to really get in touch with your body, train it, make sure that you can kind of, basically move it at will, right?
Yeah. I think a part of dancing, like in general, anything that you do in your life can help you out on the dance floor. I'm really, really into this mindset that anything that you do will help you. So as from the beginning, when I was little, I was doing like a bit of dancing, like belly dancing, flamenco. I was doing like a contemporary, but I was in like primary school. It doesn't count. I was very little, but at the same time, I kind of started with like feeling the music. Then after my dad was really into tennis and he wanted to raise a professional tennis player. So that's where I started with the floor power as I see it now, because tennis requires really strong legs and very, very fast reaction. So I played tennis for 7 years. That was also like one of the things that I still consider helped me out to develop the control, to develop the speed, reaction. Then I played volleyball for 4 years, also the same thing, strong legs, fast moves, and reaction. And then after I moved to Spain, and in there was like I'm Eastern European originally, like I'm Ukrainian, and there was a community of Ukrainian dancers, and they were doing like a pole dancing, and I was like, okay, girls, tell me what is that. Like, I was just looking to connect with people, and I started pole dancing because of that. So like just to have this kind of little community. And I liked it. It was really nice. As in, I did more exercises with the pole dancing rather than dancing. I didn't like. There is a thing called exotic pole dancing, which is you see like on the hills dancing. I was more into like exercises and
Sure.
more like doing different body art things. And that's the moment where I started like working a lot on my upper body, because everything else that I did before was like more focused on my legs and the power of the legs. And I realized that I had a horrible, horrible control of my body, because she's like, well, I was upside down. Most of the times that you're in the pole dance, you're upside down, and she's telling, bring your right and open your chest, like, and you're like left. I had the dyslexia, so I was like, what is happening? And I realized that I was really bad with that, so I started to kind of like work more on my stretching, and also like on kind of isolations of the body, just to feel where is what. Okay, my right, left shoulder. Sometimes it's kind of easy to say, oh, lift up your right shoulder, now bring your chest to the front, and now you can do that. But at that point, when you have to react fast and when you have to really isolate only one part of your body, I just couldn't. So I started like by doing some stretching, doing some exercises with the pole dance, and different like the things that they were teaching me on the pole dance, right? And it's kind of helped me first with the kind of understanding of what is what in my body. But it was like more just to understand your body. It was not about dancing, not about rhythm or music.
That's so important though, right? Because I
Yeah.
think nobody can give you body awareness. Nobody can show you what it feels like to move. You can tell me to move my shoulder, but
Yeah.
only I know what my shoulder feels like,
Yeah,
right? So I
exactly.
think that developing awareness in and of yourself is really important.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure everyone feels it in a different way. And if you are, for example, experienced more to do like something on the right side, and everyone has the best side, it's always like that. But someone does it on the left side, sometimes I'm like, but why? Why does it feel different for you to doing it on the other side? And when you realize that everyone is different and everyone has different body, and when you start understanding your own body, that's the time that you're like, okay, I have to work on that, because you realize that it's a really long way to understand your body, because you see someone controlling her body, they might give you tips on how to get the control, but you have to do it yourself. It's not that they will do it for you.
No, you have to do the work.
Yeah, and with the pole dance, I think that was one of the things, because the teacher, she could not do the move for me. She could like hold me so I will not fall and break my neck, maybe. But at the moment that she's saying, bring your hand there, she will not grab my hand and bring it there. Like, she will just tell me that. And I really appreciated that, because she made me learn the hard way. She made me think at that moment, where is what in my body. And that's one of the things that kind of pushed the beginning of kind of body awareness. And then after pole dance, I started with straps. That's kind of aerial acrobacy style.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing is that you have...
no, I know what you mean.
it's a strap, the name
the
of
cloth
it.
thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So you put it on your hands. I don't know if you touch the floor, sometimes you don't, and you might be in the air and you have to do like different acrobacy, different exercises. There, I think it's a lot of control just because you're in the air. And if you do like a flip or something, you can dislocate your shoulders easily. So you have to be very, very careful and like really have this power of the core to keep yourself, of the shoulder blades. I think in that moment, I think I really, really developed my shoulder blades control. That's one of the things that I think is very important for bachata, because it's not the same thing when you're doing this kind of pound to pound block, right? It's not the same thing of blocking the hand fully and having this hand like tense as in blocking your shoulder blades, but having this hand relax. And that's one of the things that I think followers are really, really struggling with, because sometimes when I'm doing this block, I feel this or tension, right? And you don't want this tension. You want you to block only this part. So anything that you do, actually, like anything, any type of sport, any type of dancing, any type of outdoor activity, or even gym, can help you to develop your body control.
Absolutely. And I also think this is maybe why some people feel like they eventually plateau, this lack of integrating movement into yourself, because I think just going socials or going to classes, that's great, right? Yeah. But this alone time to be like, I'm going to feel my body alone doing this and what it feels like, I think also adds.
Yeah. And actually, most of the time that I see people are just going to regular classes or to socials to learn, especially followers, not leaders. Leaders, they do go to classes because they need moves. But followers, they only go to socials and they're like, no, that's enough. I will learn by dancing. If you are already like very technical, if you're professional and everything, you can go and learn the move, like how to follow the moves from the dance floor on the social. But if you're a beginner or intermediate level, I mean, you have to get this technique at least to be able to execute the move and not having the pain on the next day.
Of course.
I dance maybe 4 or 5 hours per day, maybe more sometimes if I'm out during the night, and I never feel pain. And when people say, oh, I have pain in my neck or in my back or something, I'm like, there is a thing in there. There is something that is wrong. I can get tired with my body, obviously. I get tired a lot, but I don't feel pain. That's the thing that every follower has to learn, how to protect your body from rough leaders, how to be in the control of your body, and how to implement this technique. The lady style technique, for example, it's not about moves. I'm not talking about lady style like beauty, these things. No. It's about the technique of like how to properly like initiate the move, how to finish it, how to opening like this in a transversal cambre or something, like how to properly how to rotate your body. Where do I have to have my weight in this moment? So this type of things.
Yeah.
And I think even now, being a dancer full-time, I take lady style classes from different dancers, because there is always something that you can learn from other person.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's so important. And yeah, it's I think also a sign of a good teacher, one that continues to be a student. For sure. But the team is signaling to me we could keep going all day, but we are coming to the end of the episode, and we do have a closing tradition on this podcast, which is we like to end always on a bit of appreciation, because we know that success is a team sport. So what's going to happen is I'm going to tell you something that I appreciate about you, and then I would like you to think about somebody who you are grateful for, who has supported you on your dance journey. And you can just let us know who that is and why you mentioned them.
Oh, I have many people.
I know. Everyone struggles with this one. But Nastia, the thing that I actually really, really appreciate about you is how respectful you are with beginners. And I know this not just from our conversation, but I've also watched you in different socials, and you're one of those people that I can absolutely say dances with absolutely everybody. You walk around the floor, and it's not just that you dance, it's how you do it. I can always see that you're smiling. I can always see that you're empathetic. I can always see that you're very patient, even when people put you in weird positions. And it's just so lovely to see. And I think you're such a great example for the dance community. I think it's really lovely to spread that kind of energy. So thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
demonstrating that.
Thank you. Well, I will really struggle because there are so many people who really made my journey being a good success. And well, thinking about like nowadays, like now, obviously, I think the person who brought me into influence, I am thankful that this person changed my mindset. And I was thinking about Melvin and Gatika, obviously, at the beginning,
Yes.
because they're people who inspire me to create, they inspire me to get better, that there is always the way to execute the move better, and they evolve all the time. And you see them and they're just getting better and better and better. And you also want to, improve yourself. But at the end of the day, I'm watching them, I'm following them because of Darwin, because he brought me into this and he changed kind of like the understanding of Bachata Influence, because I was also like thinking that it's a rough style at the beginning because I just didn't have good experience on the dance floor. And I didn't meet good leaders before who would make me feel something on the dance floor or who would lead the influence moves with a proper technique or just connect with me, right? And once we met for the first time and we danced, it was in Madrid. We danced a couple of songs and he just danced in a different way. And I was like, what is that? Like, why? And it was nothing like personal, but just a person that was connecting, that was present, that was always like trying to transmit something, tell you something without talking. He's not a very talkative person. He is always like very neutral, but but I really loved the energy, and from the moment that we danced a few times in Madrid till now that I'm living in Barcelona giving classes with him, I'm really, really thankful for everything that he taught me. Because obviously I was not influence dancer. As I said, I was essential bachata dancer when I started with Bachata Influence. And it was a kind of funny situation how we started collaborating with him just going at the same moment as I was to Valencia and asking, oh, do you want to give a workshop together? And in literally a few days, he taught me so many things so we could do Bachata Influence demo. Like, I was not ready for that. But at the same time, he put a lot of effort, a lot of time to teach me. And he is a really good teacher, I have to say. And he has a lot of patience. That's something that I really enjoy about working with him, which I don't have, and I struggle a lot. And he always say, be patient, but I struggle, I swear. And I think because of that, I kind of like learn every day more and more from him, not about dancing, but just about personality, about how to be patient, how to move in this world, also in Bachata world, as he has more experience than I do. So I would say I'm very grateful for everything that he put into to help me to be the person that I am today and to become like better. So I hope the things that we will do in the future will kind of give the return of everything that he put into me.
Yeah.
So
that's so lovely, and we can't wait to see where your journey goes, for sure.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Every time it's more and more, and more to come.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Nastia. It was a really good conversation and we're so grateful that you were here with us.
Thank you for the invitation.